Getting out the door early can be rough, whether it's co-op mornings or just trying to start homeschool in time. Today, I'm sharing 5 quick and simple breakfast ideas that are nourishing, kid-approved, and easy to pull together even on your busiest days. These are the meals I consistently come back to when we need something fast but still nourishing. I hope they help your mornings run a little smoother. Getting started, I want to first emphasize these are simple, quick meals, not fun or exciting or the most fancy breakfast I could make. Just meals that when we're running out the door, we have to be somewhere early, these are the breakfasts I can throw together really quick. So the first one we're starting off with is eggs and bacon with frozen fruit on the side. So something I've learned this year is how to cook scrambled eggs in a stainless steel pan. There's this guy, I'll find him and I'll link him below because I can't think of his name right now, who just does instructional videos on how to cook food in stainless steel pans, and it was amazing. Apparently, you have to have this pan. It's like a heritage stainless steel pan. I'll link that below too. And you want to heat it up for a few minutes, and then once you splash water in and the water dances in the pan, that means it's ready. If you do it before then your eggs will stick. And I don't know, I feel like it's magic. I finally learned how to cook eggs in a stainless steel pan. After I divided the eggs into their plates, I just quickly threw the bacon into the same pan because I'm huge on not using a ton of dishes. You'll probably see that throughout my videos. I try to use as little dishes as possible, especially on mornings when you're trying to leave. I don't want to have to come back home to a sink full of dishes. And then the kids are all picking which fruit they want. We have mango or blueberry. Those are their options this week. From within you shall be divided.
Feels a little weird.
Okay, who wants to pray?
Me.
Okay, go ahead. Amen.
Mama,
Okay, Draper wants to pray. Go ahead. I made a previous video on how I make my own electrolytes, and I will link that below. One thing I didn't include in that video is it is not sweetened. So if you want it to be sweeter, like some of the store-bought electrolytes you'll buy, you will want to add something like stevia to it. You can also add powders to it, like a lemon powder if you want it to have a lemon flavoring. I put that stuff in the description box of that video, but just forgot to include it in the actual video. So if you're interested in that, I will link it below. We've talked about coffee a lot. I definitely love having my cup of coffee in the morning. I will say I rarely have more than 1 coffee a day. I do have limits. I have been dubbed the name 2 Coffee Priscilla on days when I have more than 1 coffee. 2 Coffee Priscilla just gets a little interesting. I tend to laugh at inappropriate times when I have 2 coffees in me. So I think it's just best to avoid the second coffee. Stick to 1 coffee a day. For our breakfast today, we are having smoothies. Another thing I do right when I'm starting breakfast is I usually put my baby in his high chair and give him some frozen blueberries because he is very impatient. He's kind of in a demanding phase right now, and he just needs food pronto. He nurses right before breakfast, but he needs food as fast as it can get to him. So I'll give him some frozen blueberries to hold him over until the breakfast is finished. Our go-to smoothie is pretty simple. It's just banana, blueberries, mango, peanut butter, milk. One trick I have is I don't add the protein powder. Okay, actually I have a couple tricks. First trick is don't put the peanut butter in first. It's just gonna stick to the blender. Put it in like on top of stuff in the middle to where it's not touching the sides of the blender so it doesn't stick. Second tip is once you've already blended the smoothie, at the end, add the protein powder in the middle of the smoothie, then start it so the protein powder doesn't stick to the sides of the blender. Think smarter, not harder. That's what I always say. Now I am making my morning coffee. This was probably the best latte art I had this whole week, so I'm very proud of that. And then I am reading my daily proverb. Proverb a day keeps the foolishness away.
Mama, can you give me more?
Yes, there's a little bit more. Good job. I also want to make sure it's known that I am not encouraging skipping breakfast whatsoever. So even if my husband and I are like having ice cream one night, we'll usually have a low protein and then eat the ice cream. So for my coffee, I usually will grab like a piece of chicken from the fridge really quick, or even a piece of turkey meat or something like that, which maybe is weird, but it's just a habit I formed of just always eating a little bit of protein before having something else. Then once the kids are finished eating their food is when I usually eat my breakfast. If they weren't gross with their food, I'll just try to eat their leftovers. If all the food has been contaminated and there's nothing else, then I'll just make my own breakfast. For this quick breakfast, we're having oatmeal. I like to make my oatmeal and think of it as if I'm making a cookie. So basically I add butter, cinnamon, maple syrup, eggs, vanilla. I just think cookie, but still like healthy and nourishing. And the eggs add protein. Also, oatmeal actually has some protein in it already. But if you haven't tried adding eggs to your oatmeal, you definitely should. It doesn't taste weird. I would just advise you to first make your oatmeal, then add them at the end. If you add them too early, it can make your oatmeal like curdle, and then it actually is kind of gross. Then for toppings, we usually do frozen fruit. We'll have yogurt on top, peanut butter. If we have nuts and seeds on hand, we'll do that too. We just don't really have any right now. My kids are very opinionated on their toppings, so you'll see all the bowls are a little different. You'll see the little hands reaching in saying like, no, don't do that, I want that. But as long as they ask nicely, I'm happy to give them what they ask for.
Fantastic!
I love how at this age, the spoon is more of just an accessory in their hand, while they're just using their other hand to actually eat the food. It's starting to feel a little bit like Groundhog Day because we are just routine people. So now the kids are having their breakfast, I'm reading my proverb, I'll make my coffee. Also did beautiful latte art today. I think there was one day that was a fail, but 2 good days in a row. Very happy with that. Now, this may be the quickest of all quick breakfast. And sometimes it feels kind of lazy because it's so quick, but honestly, it's such a nourishing, healthy meal, and my kids love it no matter how many times we've had it, which is Greek yogurt, homemade granola. I showed in another video how I do that. I'll link that below. And frozen fruit. Today we had blueberries. We ran out of mango at this point, so that was their only option. But my kids still love this, and we've had it very frequently for years now. This yogurt is the full-fat Greek yogurt from Costco. My kids love it. I think because we've never really given them any type of sweetened or flavored yogurts, they're happy and content with the full-fat Greek yogurt that we get. There have been times where they've been given like a sweetened yogurt from grandparents or wherever else, and they are like, what is this? This is amazing. We need to start buying this. But I'm happy that they're still content with what we get. You're funny.
Every day I call you Mama.
Every day you call me Mama? That's so sweet. Okay, it's Friday, last breakfast. Today we are doing French toast, and you may be thinking that this is not a quick breakfast, but if you make it the way I do, it really is quick. So the key is to just make it quick. I don't measure anything. I literally just put 12 eggs in a bowl. I estimate about 1.5 to 2 cups of milk, about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, a few dashes of cinnamon, some salt, a little vanilla, and it just turns out delicious every time. If I was measuring everything and using different measuring cups to do it perfect, then it probably would be a long breakfast. But because I just pour it all in, it's a quick breakfast. I will say this recipe may be the lowest in protein out of the ones I've shared. I do add a lot of eggs to the batter, I guess it would be batter, to hopefully help with the protein. But another thing I think to reassure myself is that I use freshly milled bread made with kamut grain. And when you're using fresh milled grains, your bread's just higher in protein already. So I think it's fine. I always do a large batch, so then if there's any leftovers, I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer, and then once we're ready to eat them, I'll just put them straight in the toaster. So that's nice to have if the kids just randomly want a snack, or if I only have a couple of kids at home and it's a quick, easy breakfast. In previous pregnancies, I've frozen entire loaves of French toast to have postpartum to feed the kids for breakfast, which is really nice, and if I get pregnant again, I will definitely do that again. Thank you for listening as I shared 5 easy, quick, simple meals that my family actually ate this week. These are all meals that my kids love, and they usually eat them all up. If you enjoy this content, I hope that you'll like and subscribe. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and I will see you next video.